Check 1, 2, mother, father, baby, yeah. Wah, 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 me, brah, brah, bum, 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 bum. All right. I am in the studio by myself making funny noises. This is going well. All right, time for the next episode. Here we go. Hey, everybody. Hello. Sarah B here with you for another episode of The Sarah B Show. That is right. We're doing another one. Here we go. And today's episode is going to be a good one, I hope, anyway. It's a subject I've been wanting to cover for a little bit, and it's like perfect timing because we are like at that halfway point. Now, this episode is going to be all about your New Year's resolutions. Everybody makes one, at least one, a couple usually, on January 1st, to do for the new year. New year, new me. I always hated that saying because I saw it everywhere, but then I would make fun of it all the time. But basically, this is new year, new me. I am Ron Burgundy? ? Have you guys been, fulfilling your New Year's resolutions? I feel like they fizzle out very quickly, as everyone knows. Once, usually the most popular one is, I'm going to get fit again. I'm going to lose weight, Fit team, meatheads, let's do this. The gyms are always so crowded at the beginning of the year. Oh my God, January and February are the worst. Usually about March, everything kind of starts falling off and everybody just like leaves and you're like, okay, the gym is a safe place again. Here we go. But basically that's it. It's a 6-month checkpoint. Have you guys kept up with your New Year's resolutions? Now, before we get into the main subject of this episode, I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things really quick. First of all, my episode of I Survived Bear Grylls premiered last week on TBS. It was kind of weird because the episode got pushed back an hour. They'd always been at like 8 p.m. Central and 9 p.m. Central. They all got pushed back an hour. And before that, the week before that, they didn't show for a week because of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs going on TBS. So I don't know what the deal is. I'm not, a TV person. I don't know what the reasoning for the episode getting pushed back an hour would be. I have no idea. Whether it was like, I was thinking, is our episode more risque? But they pushed back all of them. From now on, the show doesn't even start till 9 p.m. and then 10 p.m. again replay. So it's pretty late. It wasn't, for some prime viewing before it because it's still replays of Big Bang Theory coming on before it. So I don't know if it was an inappropriate level, if the ratings are bad. Maybe they thought that it would perform better at a later time with, an older audience watching. I really have no idea what the reasoning for this would be, but basically got pushed back. But my episode did air nonetheless, and it was so fun. I got a bottle of champagne for myself. It was like my TV debut. Picked out a good bottle, and it was delicious. Did a little toast with my boyfriend, and we watched my episode. I was very nervous about it because, you always hear things like, oh, I didn't say any of these things. I didn't do any of these things. I didn't act like this. And you're always scared of how they're going to make you look on TV. And it was funny because the first meeting, the producer told us before we even filmed our episode, like, don't worry, we're not going to make you look bad. If anybody's going to make you look bad, you're going to make you look bad. So don't be an idiot and you won't look like one, basically. So anyway, but you still have that like idea in the back of your head, like, what if? But everything went well. It was super fun. Everybody asked if we still talk, me and everyone on the episode. We do. We have a group text that has not stopped since we met each other in Atlanta for the filming like last November. We were group texting the entire time throughout the episode. It turned out so well. It was hilarious. It was just so great. And it was also a nightmare watching it again, being like, I could have made it past that. So first of all, thanks for all the kind words. I love all the screenshots and videos I've gotten of myself on TV with my stupid faces. It's been really great and fun. And so thank you guys so much for all being a part of that. It has been crazy that it's been over a year since, the whole process started. And it was really cool to see that final payoff. It was a nightmare watching again, like with the scene with the chugging. Something they didn't actually show on there is that me and Zach, the guy that beat me, we both stopped chugging our glasses and they're like, it's not over yet. And we're like, oh crap. So we both grab our glasses and start again. And he literally beat me by like a millisecond, which is like saying something too, because his glass was like a fourth full maybe, and mine was all the way full. And it just, man, if I would have just concentrated and kept chugging and didn't stop, I would have made it to the next round. Now, I don't know that I would have finished and won the $10,000. Who really knows? Because those were pretty difficult challenges if you guys watched. But yeah, I don't know. I just, this is literally always something that's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I should have kept chugging. But it is what it is. It was really, really cool to be a part of. And yeah, I've like this big, you know how like you have an adrenaline rush and then you have that come down after. And I feel like I had like the most massive come down for like a day or two because it's been like a year in the making. And now it finally happened. And I'm like, okay, 15 minutes of fame is over. Now what? Now what's my next big thing I need to work on? So that's the first order of business. Was thinking about doing another episode, maybe getting some of my friends from the episode on and going more into detail of all the behind the scenes stuff that I can actually talk about now since it aired. That could be fun. But other than that, the next episode, guys, I'm going to be doing is going to be a Q&A. So listen up. If you have any questions for me at all about anything, it can be dirty, it can be clean, filthy as you want. I don't care. I am an open book. And you know what? If I don't want to answer it, I just won't. I might even read it and be like, I'm not answering that. But either way, if you have any questions about me or my life or my boyfriend, relationship, family, any career moves, whatever the case may be, any questions at all, or, you know, need advice about anything, like whatever. I'm doing a Q&A and ask me anything, if you will, for the next episode. So I'll probably record that here in the next 5 to 6 days. We will see. So if you have any questions, please send them in, either here on Spotify. You can, if you listen on Spotify, you can send me a message there. sarahbshow@gmail.com. You can send them directly to that email. Or, once again, I have a new website, which is awesome. It is sarahbshow.com. So go to www.sarahbshow.com. There is a contact form on there, a question form. If you fill that out, it sends it directly to my email, and I can answer that way. Definitely don't do my DMs on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. I know a lot of people get really angry that I don't answer those. And I did start off doing it. But if you guys saw my inbox, and this is not a brag, this is not an anything, I get like thousands of messages. I just don't answer them anymore. And Snapchat specifically, I just get a lot of dick pics on there. Let's be real. I don't feel like opening it and seeing that ever. So thanks, but no thanks. I feel bad for all of you that I've stopped talking to on Snapchat, but I mean, that was like 90% of the stuff I was getting on there. And I just kind of didn't want it anymore. So I don't really read the messages, especially on Snapchat. It's kind of gotten away from me. So email is definitely the best bet. Once again, if you want to be a part of the Q&A or want me to answer anything at all, or even if you have an idea for a future subject of an episode, I'm definitely open to that. We're getting into that like month or two into the podcasting, and I'm like, I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm so scared I'm going to run out of things to talk about. So so once again, sarahbshow.com, or you can send it to sarahbshow@gmail.com, website or email, either one, you can do that. But now, once again, we are going to be talking about New Year's resolutions. It is 6 months into 2023. Have you kept up with your New Year's resolution? Woo-woo! Oh, wait. Hey, I have a New Year's horn. Here we go. Happy New Year! I love how depressing that horn is at the end. It's just like such a fall off. It makes me laugh every time. Oh, my sad little horn. All right. Well, new year, new me. Is it a new you? How have you guys followed through on your New Year's resolutions? I'd love to know. Have you followed through? Have you dropped the ball? You know, I'm hoping that you guys hear this episode and maybe have dropped the ball. Or if you have dropped the ball, you'll hear this and be like, oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that. This is my cue. It is not too late. Like, we literally still have half of a year left. I always like to think of it like that. Like, oh, I haven't reached it this year, maybe next year. No, bitch. Like, it is time now. The time is now. This is your reminder. Sorry, I've had a lot of caffeine today, guys. I'm not yelling at you. I just want you to succeed. So let's talk about New Year's resolutions. Shall we? I'm not one to stick to my New Year's resolutions super often. And I'm kind of like everyone else with the whole weight loss, you know, this and that thing. I feel like weight loss gets so much harder. Oh my God. As you get older, it sucks. I feel like I've been like trying to do nothing but lose weight for like the last 6 years. Ever since I got back from working on cruise ships, it's been so hard to put that weight off. But I'm down 30 pounds, and it's not just this year. It's been a struggle for sure, but I'm pretty close to my goal weight. So that's still a constant, thing that I'm working on. The eating, I've gotten pretty under control. Now I'm trying to get the gym back into it. I've lost weight, but I've also lost a lot of muscle. So that is a current thing I'm working on. But that's kind of something that's always in my head. That wasn't necessarily a New Year's resolution this year. My main New Year's resolution this year, personally, was I wanted to try some new hobbies. I wanted to push myself into trying new things, make new friends, and get some new hobbies. As I said in the very first episode when I started this podcast, I had definitely sunken into quite a depression. I was literally waking up 3:30 in the morning, coming to work, being on air, going home, eating, going to sleep for 2 to 3 hours, waking up, watching TV, eating, going back to bed. That was my life for months and months and months. I didn't do anything. I literally didn't do anything. And I'm like, well, I can't think of a new hobby. I don't know what makes me happy. And it's not an excuse. I was just really, really in a pit. And I will say I'm pretty proud of myself for this year. I think I've really started actually doing my New Year's resolutions for the first time, and I normally don't. But I did get a late start. I feel like I finally pulled myself out of this funk that I've been in, and just like a month ago, kind of when I started this podcast, I'm not gonna lie, like it's been really helpful. I don't know if it's like a form of therapy or I'm finally like getting my creative side flowing again. I'm a very, very creative person. I have that creative personality to where if I'm not doing something artistic or creating something or just like, stroking that side of me, like I get in a funk. I need to be doing something with that creative side, and I finally am again. So I think that's a big part of it for me. But for months of this year, I didn't do anything. And then I started with the weight loss. I've started losing weight and feeling better and getting more active. So I know that's helping a lot. I need those like endorphins and that serotonin. I need it. So it's been helpful. So again, it took months, but I wasn't really doing anything. And I'm like, what are you doing? You said you were going to start these new things. One big thing I wanted to do was take a dance class. So I found one in our area. And I started following them on Instagram, and I stalked them for so many months before I decided to sign up. But I finally did that too. So I'll say my first big try something new, aside from, starting to lose weight, was the podcast. I did it. I didn't really know how it was going to go, but it's gotten a lot of catching on. It's getting a way better reaction than I expected it to, and it's so fun. I say it every episode, I feel like, but I can't believe all of the people I'm reaching from every aspect of my life, like old schoolyard friends from like elementary school and middle school, cruise ship friends, family that I haven't talked to in forever is like bringing us together again. And that's great. I've missed my family. Just so many people, teachers that used to teach me, it's crazy the people it's reaching. So, and I'm having a really good time with it. And every week, I swear, I think of something new and exciting I want to do. For example, I'm doing the Q&A next week. I think I'm going to try to start video soon. There's some new platforms I want to get on. I started just on Spotify. Now I'm on Apple, Google, iHeart. Like, it's crazy. The website's coming up. It's all developing really nicely, and it's just really fun, and it's definitely stroking that creative side that I need it to. So I'm having a really good time with it. The dance class I talked to you guys about that I stalked forever. Well, about a month and a half ago, I finally joined. I did 3 classes instead of like a big package or anything, just to try it out. Oh my God, I was so nervous when I went. Now, I was raised dancing, basically. My mom did the whole thing where she put me in recitals and dance classes from like age 5 or something, or maybe even younger than that, I think. So I've been dancing forever. Tap, lyrical, modern, ballet, everything. I did drill team for many years. I did cheerleading for many years. I liked that I could yell in cheerleading because I'm loud, which was fun. But the dancing of part of the cheerleading was definitely my favorite. So yeah, I've been dancing forever. I did it in high school. I did competitive dance. I've taken, salsa lessons and, on cruise ships, I learned so much. Salsa, cumbia, bachata, my favorite. And then I met a Mexican boyfriend who hates dancing. So that's a story for another time. But basically, I was really nervous to get back into dancing because I hadn't done it in a long time. I didn't know anyone. And this dance company, I'll give them a little shout out. Why not? They're called Diva Dance. So if any women or ladies or whatever listening want to do this, like, this is a company that is all over the nation. So look them up. The thing I really liked about Diva Dance was just the diversity. Every color you can imagine, every age you can imagine, like every size you can imagine was at this dance class. And it was so cool. Nobody looked at you weird. It did not matter how you showed up, what you wore, what you looked like. You were like a friend. And it was such a cool experience. I really, really loved that aspect of it. I hate the name Diva Dance. I've never in my life referred to myself as a diva. I'm like, yes, girl, come on, divas. Like, it's not my thing. But it was a really fun experience. So naturally, the first class I joined, because they have a calendar, you can see, you know, what nights the classes are, and they're always an hour long. You meet up there, you do a little stretch, they give you a question, so you go meet new people in the class and answer it together, and then you learn the dance, perform it at the end. You can video, put it on Instagram, on your social media. It's really fun. And then a little stretch afterwards and a goodbye. And it's just a great workout. It's such a good way to make friends. And if you join their membership, they have like diva dates, they call them, where they go out for cocktails, karaoke's, all this stuff. So it's make friends and do something new. It's a very big thing for me. So and the first class I joined was a Karol G and Shakira class. It was so fun. And then what did I do second? Oh, I did Cardi B, of course, Up. And then my third dance was a Spice Girls Wannabe. So it was really fun. They really tried to get me to join in the 4 to 6 month membership or whatever. But I know I'm going to be out of town a lot, and I hated the calendar for June. Honestly, there was not one dance I wanted to do. So I was like, I'll wait and just do drop-in classes. But it was super fun. I was very proud of myself for going and joining. That was a huge check off of my New Year's resolutions list or whatever. So that was good. And I made friends. I made a really cool friend. I'll say her name because it's not her last name. It's some privacy. But Shannon, if you're listening, shout out. She was so awesome. I was so happy every time I would get there and she was there. We'd have our own little spot and do the dances and make fun of ourselves together. It was very fun. So anyway, it was a really cool class. And then another new thing I've tried recently in the last couple months as well was painting with a twist. I've always wanted to try that, where you go to the paint classes, you all are painting the same thing, and you have an instructor and you bring your own wine. Oh my God, it was so fun. We had music going. It was a Jeep one specifically. So of course, my mom went as well and some other people from our Jeep club that we're in. And we painted our Jeep in a sunset and went through several bottles of wine. So there were some interesting paintings, but it was so fun. And of course, my mom and I both ended up with mustaches painted on and paint all over each other, mostly her, because I'm that girl. But yeah, it was really, really fun. So there's just some new things I've done. Oh, and I finally started on one of my other goals, to become a barbecue master. So they call it like a grill master, barbecue master. I'm going to say I'm the barbecue mistress. Now, let me just say I've only done one cook, but I'm already going to dub this title. It's happening. My goal is to be on the American Barbecue Showdown on Netflix in 2 years' time. I got to learn, get my chops up there. I don't know if you guys have watched that show on Netflix. They have 2 seasons. The first season came out during COVID and it was great. And now years later, the second season came out. And I was actually thinking about trying to get some of the contestants on the podcast and give some barbecue tips, and their personalities are all so fun. I love it. But yeah. So as you guys, I'm a very lucky person. I think I talked about this, that a few years ago I won a contest. It's kind of the contest that you win, if you're at a bar and they're like, oh, do you want to sign up for our sweepstakes? And you just hear that and you're like, no, I'm not going to win. Well, I did it. It was right at the end of COVID, and it was a Corona sweepstakes, and I signed up and I freaking won. They emailed me this stuff. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, oh yeah. So I won so much stuff. I won a $3,000 check to spend on patio furniture or whatever you want, of course. There were 2 Corona Adirondack chairs, a Corona cooler, a big, awesome stainless steel one. I won a $400 Sonos music speaker thing that I love, and I take it everywhere with me. We won a Corona umbrella, and I also won a large, big green egg with every egg accessory. Egg accessory. I love that. That you can imagine. This thing was worth, I don't remember how much they said. It was ridiculous. So, and I won this. All this stuff is just getting shipped to me. Hilarious. And I lived in an apartment on the 4th or 5th floor at that time. And the big green egg had to come up there. That was a nightmare. But basically, we've taken that stupid big green egg to 2 different apartments and finally busted it out. A couple weeks ago. We cooked chicken and steak on it, just some light grilling and doing some research on how to use it. But I finally did my first cook yesterday. Oh my gosh, you guys. So this is about New Year's resolution, but for a second, we're making it about barbecue because I wanted to do this, and this was my try something new. I've watched a ton of videos. Meat Church is a cool YouTube channel. They're from Waxahachie, Texas, and people love them. And I've got to say, I've fallen in love with their videos as well. But the first like major smoke I did that I wanted to try, because I hear it's really easy, was St. Louis style ribs. You can do them dry, you can do them wet. There's the 3-2-1 method, 3 hours of cooking, 3 hours of smoking. Then you wrap them and cook them for another 2 hours, and then undo them, slather them in sauce, and cook them for another hour. So it gets all tacky and yummy on there. But I did a dry rib. And might I just say, I was posting this stuff on Instagram yesterday at Sarah B. Morgan, if you want to hit me up. And I've never had the most influx of like men in my inbox about barbecue DMs. Like, oh, it was so funny. Happy, by the way, belated Father's Day to all you daddies and zaddies out there. And it was just so cute. All the guys so excited. Oh, did you do the 3-2-1 method? Oh, your ribs look great. I did ribs today too. Oh, did you try this? Like, men love barbecue. It is so cute. Unless you live with a man who loves barbecue. Because let me talk about the downside of that. Oh my God, my boyfriend and I got in I wouldn't say the biggest fight, but it was not cool. These are my ribs. I've been wanting to do these for weeks. I've been preparing. This was going to be my day to cook ribs by myself. And I didn't want help. I want to become a barbecue mistress. I really do. So I was like, this is my cook. I want to start the grill. I want to get it to the set timer. I want to climb it there. I want to do everything myself. Let me do it. It's like if you try to do something on the barbecue grill and a guy is in the vicinity, like it's like a sin or something. Guys think they know everything about barbecue and grills. It was so annoying. Well, I'm going to do this. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close it. No, don't close it yet. I need to build my thing here. And then once it gets to heat, I'm going to put the convectioner on and then the grill top and then I'll close it. And he's like, oh, you just know everything, Sarah. When a guy says your name, like, he's mad. It was so funny. So, we cooled down a little bit and I was like, listen, when you want to do a cook, like when you want to be the grill master, like I'll let you do your thing, but this is my cook. So we need to let each other. And he's like, you're right. So we got over it, but oh my God, it was so funny. Anyway, basically it went really well. So I did a dry rub. I can post all this later, but I did a dry rub on it. I also did a mustard primer to baste it in that and get it all. And you don't have to with ribs, they say. You can just put it on there, let it sit 15 minutes, flip it, do the same thing. But I wanted to try it and I saw it on Meat Church. So I used a Whataburger yellow mustard and then I put my dry rub on it, a hot dry barbecue rub on both sides. And then instead of doing the 3-2-1 method, I actually did a smoke for 2 hours. I flipped it, did another hour, and then I wrapped them and I did butter, brown sugar, and a little bit of hot honey. And I cooked a meat side down and that for 2 hours and then let them rest. And oh my God. Of course, my mom was like a bitch. And, and she said, well, everyone thinks their ribs taste the best. Okay, thanks, Mom. Oh, wait, I didn't do her voice right. Well, everyone thinks their ribs taste the best. Mom, keep your opinion to yourself. My ribs were the best, and you can come over and try them next time, and you can agree with me because I'm right. So my ribs, they were really delicious. Just like everybody does say, they were fall off the bone, perfect. They had a nice smoke ring. Oh, my God. I was really proud of myself. I wanted to cry. I was like, I did this. I'm the girl doing the barbecue. I did it. Dream accomplished. And it was my first time. I'll say the only thing that did go wrong with my cook was trying to get that temperature set the way I wanted. For ribs, you do low and slow. And I will say that my boyfriend and I get the grill very high. Like we have hotter than hell temperatures on that thing. Like we cook hot. We don't even mean to. It just climbs real fast. And then we have the big green egg. So a Kamado style grill is that ceramic, bubble or circle or whatever. It basically holds all that heat in. So if you get the temperature over what it's supposed to be, it is so hard to get it back down. And that's, of course, what happened. It went instantly to 400. And I'm like, this sucks. So I was trying everything. I was out there experimenting with it, doing all this stuff. And I found the thing to get it closed to get it down is closing everything. So I had to close the top, close the bottom, allow no oxygen in there. Jesus. And then it finally started going down. It took me like an hour and a half to 2 hours to get the temperature down 100 degrees. and I opened it a little bit, and it took 10 minutes for it to climb back up 70. And I'm like, geez, like, this is insane. But I finally got it. And let me tell you, I started this grill at 11 a.m. I put the ribs on at 3 p.m. It took me 5 hours to get my temperature regulated and finally hit that good sweet spot of 250 to 275. My goodness. But I finally did it. And then once I hit it there and found out how to maintain it, I was like good to go. And I felt really proud. So it was fun. It was really, really fun. So long story short, I did let my resolutions kind of go to the wayside this year, and I started them back up. So, you know, patting myself on the back here. I got the podcast going and growing, and more coming with that. You know, the dancing I did, and I'll probably go back to. I think I'll do some drop-in classes here and there. The painting was fun to try, and now the barbecue thing, and there's so many different things to try with that. So I'm going to keep learning and growing there, and once again trying to get a guest on, a barbecue guest. If any of you have any tips or want to just send me pictures of your cook, once again you can send them to sarahbshow@gmail.com. I'm always down to talk barbecue. I'm always down to talk barbecue. Talk barbecue. There you go. So this is just, again, your reminder. If you have kind of put your New Year's resolutions on the wayside, the back burner, bring it back up again. It is not too late. It is not even July yet, y'all. Like, you have a full 6 months left. Like, do it now. So I hope this has inspired some of you at least. And if it has, or if you start doing them again, definitely hit me up and let me know. And yeah, there you go. Just a quick reminder, once again, next week's episode is going to be a Q&A that I'm doing. So I have that website up, sarahbshow.com. You can go to www.sarahbshow.com. Not only can you go there to listen to every episode right from the website, that's super easy. You can also send me a question there. There's a Contact Us page, I believe it is, and you just enter your name, email, and send your question. It comes directly to my email. If you would like to listen to the podcast other places, again, Sarah B Show is on Apple now. It has always been on Spotify. We love our Spotify. It is also on Gmail. What is it? Google, Google Podcasts, and iHeart as well. And if you have a Q&A question, once again, you can go to sarahbshow.com or send it to sarahbshow@gmail.com. And I look forward to hearing all of your questions. Once again, make them dirty, make them filthy, make them clean. I don't care. Ask me literally anything. I'm an open book, and nothing really makes me uncomfortable. So ask away, and that'll be the episode for next week. Thank you guys again for tuning in to the Sarah B Show. I love you. I love your mom and your dad and your brother and your sister and your brother from another mister. I don't know, you guys. Just take my caffeine away, but I gotta go. Thanks for listening, and I will see you on the next episode of The Sarah B Show.